Of the 14 killer challenges, 6 of them require you to kill 4 or more enemies rapidly. So first of all, I'm going to cover the Fury killer, which is 4 rapid kills, in its own video. I'm also going to cover the 2 hardest ones, which are the Ultra Killer, or 8 rapid kills, and the Chain Killer, or 9 or more rapid kills, in another single video. If you came looking for those 2 in particular, stay tuned. I'd still stick around for this video, as some of my tactics can help you achieve those as well. So that leaves us with the Frenzy Killer, which is 5 rapid kills, the Super Killer, which is 6 rapid kills, and the Mega Killer, which is 7 rapid kills. 5 to 7 kills in a row is definitely achievable, with each one progressively getting a bit harder to obtain depending on your luck. First, let me note that you have to earn all these challenges individually. What I mean by that is, let's say you happen to get a Chain Killer, which again is 9 or more kills. You will not get the 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 challenges done along with this. Basically, it's whatever the last kill is in the feed, that's the only challenge you receive. So let's start with the Frenzy Killer. This one, by far, is the easiest. Allow me to explain my strategy first. Score streaks themselves in Advanced Warfare are not as powerful as prior games. The exception, of course, is the Paladin and the Bombing Run. Besides those 2, not many of them even pack a punch. And by punch, I mean the ability to rack up multi-kills. Sure, once in a while, a well-placed streak may result in a triple kill or even a quad feed, but unless you get extremely lucky, that'll be the most bang for your buck. So our goal here is to create a super streak. To achieve the awe-inspiring power of an ultimate score streak, you need to merge more than one streak together and at the same time. As with all good recipes, there's one key ingredient that you can't go without. In the case of these multi-kill challenges, our key ingredient is the Bombing Run. You absolutely 100% need the Bombing Run on every loadout you create for these challenges. Depending on your skill level, you can equip modules on it, or you can leave it by itself. If you have trouble earning a Bombing Run, I'd leave it plain. Of note, each and every one of these clips in this video are with the stock Bombing Run. For what it's worth, I've never ran any modules on the Bombing Run, and I've completed all the killer challenges. If you feel the need, you can equip the Stealth or the additional Bomber to help you out. I'd also definitely recommend the Hardline perk. The easier you can achieve your score streaks, the faster you'll get these challenges done. As for your weapon, perks, and attachments, those are all up to you, but obviously only use whatever makes you play the best. Now, as for the other score streaks to select, they'll vary depending on the killer challenge we're talking about, so I'll discuss those as we go. So back to the first one, which is the Frenzy Killer. To make our first souped up score streak, you're going to require the Bombing Run and either the Vulcan or the Missile Strike. I found that for getting these 5 rapid kills, the Missile Strike works much better. You'll need 3 modules on it, however. The Extra Missile, another Extra Missile, and then the Hellfire Missile. For this particular challenge, you really only need these 2 score streaks. This streak is easily achieved on both last-gen consoles and the current-gen. For current-gen users, I'd recommend Ground War. And in Ground War, any game mode would work, but Domination makes it much easier. Having more enemies to kill really makes a difference. And if you're on the last-gen console and lack Ground War, just play Domination. So once you earn the Bombing Run and the Missile Strike, go to a secluded area. You'll want to call in the Bombing Run and then immediately call in the Missile Strike. Our objective is to cover the entire map with our fusion-type score streak. You'll have to take note where you call your Bombing Run in at, though. As soon as you call in the Missile Strike, since you have 2 missiles that fire first, quickly scan to the opposite side of where your Bombing Run is dropping. You have to hit whatever button you use to fire your gun rapidly twice. This will deploy the first 2 missiles. Then you'll want to aim the Hellfire Missile wherever you see a cluster of enemies. And this is why I recommended these particular modules. The 2 extra missile upgrades let you break off 2 missiles at the start of the streak that will target 2 isolated players, while the Hellfire bombs the main area you're concerned with. So the Bombing Run, coupled with the first 2 single Predator-type missiles and a Hellfire Missile, should be enough to earn you 5 rapid kills. And if you happen to get more than 5, congrats, you just knocked off an even more difficult challenge without even trying. If you only get 4 kills or less, simply keep trying this method until you earn the Frenzy or above. After a few attempts, I guarantee you'll get really good at knowing where exactly the Bombing Run path is, which will allow you to concentrate more precisely on the Missile Strike aspect. Quickly deploying those first 2 missiles and then aiming the Hellfire in the correct spot will almost guarantee you some sort of rapid kill. For the Super Killer challenge, which again is 6 rapid kills, I recommend Ground War. Now this challenge is also possible on the last-gen consoles, albeit very difficult since you have to kill the entire enemy team. It is possible though, and again for last-gen I recommend Domination. For streaks, I recommend the Bombing Run and the Vulcan this time. For modules on the Vulcan, I suggest Light Show, which adds 3 rotating lasers, and Overcharge, which increases the beam's width. You'll want to use the exact same strategy as I mentioned for the Frenzy Killer. With that in mind, we added the Light Show module to gain extra lethality in the blast zone with the 3 rotating lasers. The Overcharge module significantly increases the radius of the blast, which ensures that any enemies caught near the impact point are fried. You definitely don't need the extra time or extra burst modules, because you only have a limited window of opportunity to assist the bombing run. Extra time and extra burst do nothing to help you achieve these challenges once the bombing run has already passed. So in addition to these 2 score streaks, you also want to run the stock system hack. Lesser skilled players can substitute the system hack with the UAV streak, with the support and scrambler modules. So once you earn these 3 score streaks, again you'll want to go to a secluded spot on the map. And this part is important, so listen closely. First, call in the system hack. Then, immediately call in the bombing run. As soon as you get out of the bombing run streak, immediately call in the Vulcan. Once your Vulcan initiates, you'll want to start pounding whatever button you use to fire your gun. In fact, I recommend while the animation of pulling the iPad-like computer screen starts, that's when you start hitting the fire button. The Vulcan has a delayed fire burst, but to counter this and accelerate the beam of fire, you just have to hit the fire button. If you start pounding the fire button before it even loads, the beam will initiate right on cue with the bombing run. Again, you need to know where you aim the bombing run and divert your Vulcan's beam on the opposite side of the map. Your main goal is to pick off stragglers and those camping their dicks off from the bombing run. But did you pick up on our secret ingredient here? The system hack. By calling in the system hack first, you essentially buff the bombing run and the Vulcan. Provided people aren't running the hardwire perk, the system hack will not only blur your enemy's screen a bit, but it also shuts down their display. This basically adds the stealth module to the bombing run, as they won't be able to see where it's flying in from. As an additional bonus, it also hides your Vulcan's beam. Besides looking up, the only way to know where a Vulcan is coming in from is by using your minimap. So this helps ensure that your super streaks are stealthy, and of course, it'll help you achieve the 6 rapid kills. Now you may only get 5 or less kills with this setup, but you just need to keep at it. You'll eventually hit 6 or more rapid kills. However, if you still aren't having much luck, let's move on to the Mega Killer strategy. You can also use that strategy for the Super Killer. So for the Mega Killer challenge, you have to get a whopping 7 kills in a row. Unfortunately, this is only really viable on the current gen consoles. You absolutely must be playing Ground War to achieve this. For last gen console users, your only option is to play the Infected game mode and get a DNA bomb where some of the people leave, resulting in precisely 7 kills. So to complete this on the current gen consoles, we not only need to create a super score streak, we also have to assist in aiding that streak with our weapon. And once again, I recommend the same setup for the Frenzy and the Super Killer challenges. You'll want to use the bombing run and whatever other streak you felt worked better, whether it be the Missile Strike or the Vulcan. In addition to this, you need even more help. So we have a few options. The best bet is the Warbird with the Aggressor or the Defender module. You could also try to run the care package with support, better odds, and double tap and hope to get a high-end streak, such as a souped-up Warbird or a Paladin. Lastly, the Assault Drone with AI control can work wonders if you face players without the Blind Eye perk. You can also run the System Hack as I advised before to help stealth buff your streaks by blocking their presence on the radar. So whatever 4 streaks you choose, the same tactics apply as before. First, call in the System Hack if you're running it. Next, call in either the Warbird or the Assault Drone, whichever one you're running. Then immediately call in the bombing run, followed by the Vulcan or the Missile Strike. The Warbird will instantly pick off a target as soon as it's called in 90% of the time. The Assault Drone does whatever the hell it wants, so it's kind of unpredictable. So with all these streaks running at once, hopefully you'll be able to achieve total map devastation and at least get one of these rapid kill challenges done. If you try this a few times and can't get above a Super Killer, then abandon the Vulcan or Missile Strike. Instead, you'll want to rely on streaks that control themselves, such as the Assault Drone with the AI or the Warbird with the AI. Still keep the bombing run, however. If you keep the System Hack, first call that in. Then call in the Warbird and the Assault Drone. Lastly, call in the bombing run. As soon as you exit the bombing run, you'll want to run like a chicken with its head cut off toward wherever the closest action is. Your goal is to kill people with your gun while the bombing run is causing havoc, in addition to your Warbird and Assault Drone picking people off too. It sounds chaotic, and it is. You'll need a lot of luck since you'll have to be in the right place at the right time to find enemies that your streaks aren't destroying. So those are all my strategies for these 3 difficult challenges. You should have no problem getting the Frenzy Killer, but the Super and the Mega Killer challenges require a bit of luck. Don't be discouraged, but keep at it. If you're on the current gen consoles, you absolutely should be playing Ground War. To be honest, I think some of the worst players flock to the Ground War mode. I've had some of my best games ever in this mode. I'll constantly see players looking aimlessly at the sky while I'm running around capping objectives and earning my streaks. I also recommend playing solo. If you party up in Ground War with semi-decent players, they'll gank all your kills. And these challenges are all about getting kills, so the worse your teammates are, the more bodies there will be to kill. If you're having difficulty acquiring your score streaks to even attempt my strategies, you need to try and utilize the flags in domination better. For example, I like to grab the initial flag and rush immediately to the B flag. Instead of standing directly on top of it, just stay near it. If you're in the vicinity of the flag, you'll get 150 points per kill around it. Just cautiously defend it, picking off people as they come near. Try to draw people towards the flag so you can guarantee the additional points. Remember that when playing cautious, you'll always want to move to a slightly different location and never stay in the same spot. People will always seek revenge, so try to one-up them by moving just a little bit. Advanced Warfare prides itself on making everyone into a rushing, raving lunatic. So try to hold off running headfirst into battle and just play defensively so you can earn your streaks. Again, your goal here is to merge score streaks into one ultimate weapon that can cover the entire map and ensure you kill 5 to 7 people in rapid succession. Remember that you can also utilize the AI-controlled score streaks coupled with the bombing run and then run around aimlessly yourself and pick off stragglers with your own weapon. And again, the window of opportunity to continue a rapid kill chain is small, so you have to time everything to perfection so that your streaks complement each other and continue the kill chain. You can increase the odds of more kills by adding the Danger Close perk to all your streaks, or by buffing the bombing run with the additional bomber module. It may take several attempts and a bit of luck, but eventually you should be able to achieve all 3 of these challenges. And speaking of luck, I've even managed to complete some of these by simply calling in a single bombing run. The chances of this happening are very slim, but it is possible. If you think these 3 challenges are difficult, wait until we tackle the next 2, which are the Ultra and the Killer challenges.